Hello and welcome to Misery Loves Mandy, where comedians talk about miserable moments and whether or not they made them into jokes. This week's guest is Fumi Abe. He's on tour right now, so make sure to go see him live. He's so funny. He's on The Tonight Show. Don't tell. He's done it all. We talked about Gen Z sock wars. I didn't know my ankle socks showed my age. If you wear ankle socks, you look old. Didn't know. We talked about the inflation on condom prices and him being a very serious lover. Also, make sure to check out the Patreon where we talk about safe words and other sex relationship embarrassing moments. Make sure to please like and subscribe, share with a friend, and enjoy the episode. One thing I don't like about that fruit guy is that it's pre-cut. Because you can choose your fruit when it's not pre-cut.
Wait. I've never gotten close enough to look. That's crazy. So he cuts it at home?
Yeah.
Nah.
Right?
You gotta cut it there.
I know.
That's part of the fun.
That's what I think.
That's crazy.
Because then you go, okay, no cantaloupe. I want mango, pineapple. And you create
Just
your
seems
own.
more fresh that way.
Yeah,
I
how do you know
agree.
it's fresh.
Wow.
Fresh, and you get your own variety.
So I've never approached a stand, and I'm always too afraid to ask how much it is because I know that number is gonna piss me off. Is it 10? How much is it?
I've never bought from him. They used to be, when I lived in Hollywood, $6. Then they've been working their way up to where I think it is 10 now.
I've bought it once in I guess I live closer to Fairfax, but anyways, that area just on by some park, and it was 10. And I knew it was overpriced. So yeah, but 6 makes sense. But
I think that was inflation has gotten rid of the 6.
This is funny because in New York, there's certain items you measure inflation by. So the deli coffee used to be 50 cents when I was in college. Or the chicken over rice used to be $5. Now it's 10. But for you guys, that's the Mexican fruit guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
There's nothing like that. I grew up in Florida, and I don't think there's nothing.
Right. There's no street vendors, probably.
No street vendors.
Yeah. There was not. I'm from Ohio. Same thing.
Yeah, it's just, Cedar Point prices. Or Disneyland. We have Disneyland and Cedar Point, admission rates.
God. But I wasn't paying for them when I was that young.
Right?
So I don't know how much they were. I just remember back in the day, over the summer, you buy a Sprite, and then on the back it was you can go to Six Flags for $5. Remember that?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I think it had, or I think it was $5 off. Did it say $4
maybe it
or
was
$5?
$5 off.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
I missed the Six Flags guy.
Yeah.
That guy was
Damn.
burned in my memory.
Yeah.
But the $5 off is when you were a kid and there was just the landline, and I would answer and be you just want to cruise, and I'm I just want to cruise.
You'd call?
No, they would call you, and it was spam back in the day.
Oh, yes.
Or a pop up on the computer, and you would run to your parents, oh my God, I just won.
That's so fun. I've never fallen for spam.
Before they regulated it on the phones, they regulated it in the 90s at some point in time, in the late 90s. But
okay.
That you couldn't do that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the phone thing, but I remember the ads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just young, so I just thought, life is great. You do get things for free.
That's so funny.
Not anymore. Now when you go, it's
Dude,
too good to be
No Shoes podcasting? This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I got socks on.
This is harassment.
I like to
I'm very uncomfortable. No, I'm kidding.
Take your shoes off. Get comfy.
I gotta take my shoes
No. I like to put my feet up.
Yes,
so I feel if I wear my shoes.
Yeah, no, you're being respectful to the furniture, but disrespectful to your guests, and it's fine.
They're freshly clean feet and shoes. Okay, everyone listening. There's no smell going on. That would be awful.
Anyways, thanks for having me.
So you're not much of a feet guy.
No, I don't like feet. I like my own feet. I always thought I had pretty feet, but
Yeah.
I don't like other people's feet.
I don't either.
Well, women's feet are okay, but it depends on the woman. I don't like feet. I don't like feet. Guys have like awful feet. Most of my guy friends have terrible feet.
Really?
Yeah, because like in the burbs, like sometimes like my friends would have like hot tubs, and like I'd see their feet like closely for the first
too
time.
close.
And so they got hair on it and shit.
Yeah.
It's wide. Ugh. Anyways,
I wide foot.
just don't like I like a narrow. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a preference. I'm not gonna do anything with your feet, but you know.
I'm gonna touch that shit. My mom went on a date once, and the guy kept on the date asked like, "Let me see your feet. Can I see your feet?" She like left the date. He was like a really creepy feet dude.
How old is your mom?
This was a while ago. This was after parents divorced, dating again, but she's 60.
So this might have been like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was like 40 something.
Yeah.
I'm just asking because obviously if somebody has to see your feet on a date today in 2024, like you know that's a thing. So you'd be like, oh, you're like a feet guy. I wonder if boomers know that's a thing. So like if they didn't know that was a thing, would they just be confused, or like would they even, you know what I mean? Like, does your mom know this was like some weird kink shit, or was she just confused?
I think she knew, but it wasn't as normalized as everything is now.
Right.
So she's like, this guy's freaking weird. I'm out.
What year did feet get its own section on the hub?
Ooh.
The Hub. We got a Pornhub premium member here. This guy pays for it for sure.
You know you pay when you call it the Hub. He's also a Bears fan, so the Bears, the Hub. Oh, we're learning a lot about
absolutely.
each other here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the first time I heard like, I feel like maybe it was like a Seth Rogen movie or something. I heard like a foot joke.
Okay.
But when I was younger, like definitely did not know that was a thing.
No.
I remember seeing foot jobs. I think that might have
That
been
was the
first.
movie in FJ.
What's FJ?
That was that they did in
Superbad or something? One of those?
Yeah, they said I want to give an FJ instead of a BJ. It was an FJ.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I like learned what it was, and then I saw like what foot job was on like a porn site in like high school or something, and I was like, this is insane, crazy. And then I didn't. It wasn't until much later that I learned like, because sometimes when you're younger, you just think people make stuff up on porn.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get older and you're like, oh no, these are like based off of people's interests that I didn't know about. But I didn't discover what that was until I probably moved to New York or something.
Oh, I'm sure you learned a lot in New York. So you went there for college?
Yes. Is this the podcast? Are we
Yeah.
on?
Oh, we're gonna start now. I'm
Okay.
just kidding.
Well, some people do this. I just wanted to make sure.
No, we're going. We're going.
Okay, go.
I do the intro later once you leave. You don't have to worry about that shit.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I've only been to New York once. I've only done shows there once, and it was just one show. But I'd love to like go more.
Go more.
I know I need to go more.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's great. How old are you?
I'm 34.
I knew it because of your socks, by the way. I just learned this. You know what's so funny?
He knows it. What is
Okay,
it?
so this is so funny. I don't know how old you are. You look very young. I thought you were like, I don't know, 27, 28.
Oh,
But I saw the socks and I'm like, we're the same age. So apparently Gen Z doesn't wear these socks. They think
What?
these to Gen
Low-rise
Z.
socks?
Yes, to Gen Z. Well, we got a paywall here.
Oh
and
no.
So we can't read this article.
Oh, the clip's ruined
So
now.
this is like a thing. I did not know this. Like these are millennial socks. This is so normal to me. I have a bunch of the
See guys, ankle socks.
and this is I remember when we made the transition to ankle socks actually when we were like in middle school or something.
Yeah, you had to wear ankle socks or you weren't cool.
Yeah, if you showed the sock, it wasn't cool. But
Yeah.
now if you do this, you're not cool.
Oh.
So this is something I learned.
So wait, Gen Z's saying okay.
Like they'll do that. But they're also wearing like this is not an outfit that we would wear when we were back in high school, you know? The
No.
dress with the Adidas Sambas and the Adidas Sambas and the long sock is a move now. That's a thing. Have you seen that?
I've seen it, and I've gotten the higher socks for the gym
Yeah.
and for running. But I haven't transitioned really into footwear with the socks. And now I need to go.
Well, it depends on the outfit, right? I'm always like context. So like with what you're wearing, I think this makes sense. But like it's just I don't know, it's just been bothering me because it's like what's wrong with these fucking socks?
I don't think.
Yeah, this shit. Sydney Sweeney, like that's like they'll wear was it high heels or
High
stilettos
heels?
or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
they're called with socks. The fuck?
But you have
know?
to be hot to do that.
Yeah, she could really wear anything.
You can't just do that.
But this is Justin Bieber, right? But he's wearing the lower socks. I just realized the other day, everybody's complaining about getting older and shit, but he's like 31. Ariana Grande's like 32. Yeah. Everybody's getting old, It's all right.
They're aging well. They're staying young,
They were young. I mean, they're young, but I didn't realize. It's so weird to think Ariana Grande is only 3 to 4 years younger than me. Like, we could have gone to high school together. That's a crazy thought. Because I just always thought she was like a girl because of like the Nickelodeon shows she was on, and I guess she got famous when I was like 25 or something. Dude, she's 31.
Wow. Well, she's got such a petite little face.
I
and
know.
She's all little.
It's just so crazy. Like, she's not even cool anymore, right?
Wow.
Billie Eilish is like 22 or something still.
They look the same age to me.
Yeah, I mean, but it's the clothes, right? You can tell by the clothes, like the Sydney Sweeney's.
The socks.
Like, it's a different. I'd also just like to say that. I'd like to just say that I don't think. Do you have Gen Z listeners?
I'm sure.
I just feel like there's all this like Gen Z loves shitting on millennials and stuff on TikTok, and like how we're so lame and like not creative and all this stuff, and like I just want to say that I don't think Gen Z is as like artsy or creative as they give themselves credit for. I actually think when millennials were their age, we were creating more. And here's what I think is because everything Gen Z is doing right now, whether it's fashion or like hairstyle, it's just a callback to something we did before.
Yes.
Right. And I'm not saying everything millennials did when I was, 15 was awesome, but at least we were creating new things, right? Mm-hmm. The emo scene, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like the fucking like. What else did girls like the chokers?
I was gonna say
and
the
like
chokers.
I remember those pants that girls would wear. What are they called? The flare pants.
The bell bottoms.
Bell bottoms, but they were also like leggings at the same time. Remember those?
Yes, I do. They were black, like the stretchy ones.
Yeah, like we were like trying shit. We were trying. I'm not saying they're all amazing ideas, but at least we were making new things. And I think there is like art and beauty in making new things and trying new things. Whereas everything they're doing is just like you're bringing it back and you're young and hot so it looks cool, but you didn't make anything.
Yep.
So go make something.
Yeah, there's no like style that they've started yet that hasn't been reused.
Even the long socks, that was a thing in like the 80s or whatever, right?
Definitely.
So you just brought it back.
I think about like the 50s. They always wore those little white socks with their cute little slip-on heels and dresses.
Yeah, dude. The ankle socks, this is originality. This is innovation. Coming from the same mind as Mark Zuckerberg's generation, right? We're making stuff.
Yeah. Why have an extra layer of material that will cause heat?
Yeah.
If it's hot outside, show off the ankle.
Even like the fucking tattoo. Remember this? The mustache
tattoo?
God,
everyone had the mustache tattoo.
We made that. I'm not saying that's cool, but we made it. We made it. And it wasn't a reference to anything, and it was just a new thing we made. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like millennials don't get like the artistic credit that we deserve. These are not the pants we're talking about, by the way.
No, but zip-off pants.
Oh, zip-off pants.
That
was a mistake, but we made it. But we also made this.
But we tried it. It didn't work. We got rid of it.
Yeah.
It's all about trying. It's like a joke. You got to bomb sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. But
there.
Gen Z's so concerned with bombing, they're sticking to the old material.
Because they have too much social media where people are going to see
Yes,
them.
they're trying other people's material, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget, Gen Z invented plagiarism. Don't forget that. Gen Z invented plagiarism.
Yes.
I remember in 2020, when I first downloaded TikTok, I was shocked that people were just copying other people's jokes. Mm-hmm. And then now it's like a thing. They call it trend. So it's like if somebody has a funny thing, you can just do that same thing, same joke, and also go viral.
It blows my mind.
Right? So like talk about like hey, back in my day, okay? If you plagiarize, you get kicked out of college.
Yeah.
Okay? You gotta cite that shit MLA style, But there's none of that today. I'm just saying, I'm not shitting on Gen Z. I'm just saying like you're not as artsy as you think. You're not as artsy as you think. You just copy. You're good at copying. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think that you're right and they're wrong and my socks are cool and now I know I'm going to go buy new socks. Oh, man. These kids.
These fucking kids, man.
Oh, what are we
These
gonna
fucking
do?
Kids.
I like getting older. You know what?
Oh, it's the best.
It is awesome.
Although, like, I do, like, sometimes, like, you know, I don't know if you know this. If you set your phone like this, sideways, and you charge it, bunch of photos, there's, like, a slideshow that plays automatically. I just found this out.
I did not know that.
So I do it on, like, I, like, sometimes have it this way because I'm, like, I use this camera to video chat for work and stuff. And then once the call's over, like, a random photo slide thing will start playing. And a bunch of my photos, I have so many photos because I've been doing comedy since I was 24. So I have so many photos on my phone from when I was 24. And they'll just pop up. And I'm like, God, I did look younger. I was skinnier, not in like a good way. I was really skinny. I'm glad I'm bigger now. I miss like having the physicality and the energy.
The energy I'll take.
Yeah.
Because now it comes in days and waves. Like I'll have days where I'm like, let's go. And then weeks where I'm just like, where's that energy?
Yeah, I used to like, man, when I was like, I went to NYU, so like over the summer I would stay in New York and intern because it's like I liked being in New York. I'd intern from like 9 to 5, and then from 6 to like midnight I'd work at a restaurant.
Holy shit.
And then after that I'd go drink with my friends at the restaurant, and then I would just repeat that 5 times. I could never do that today. This is before Uber too, so like I had to take the train home and shit. It was crazy.
Man, yeah.
I miss that.
That sounds, yeah, I would like the energy. That is the only thing I would like back.
Yeah. I remember like when I first started comedy, I was like, I had a creative partner who I used to do a podcast with. He's still a good friend of mine, but he's 10 years older than me. So I started when I was 24. He started when he was 34, which is how old I am now.
So we're the same age.
The same age. Class of 2012, college.
Yep.
High school, 2008.
Yeah, 2008. Well, my college was 2013 because, you know, it took me an extra year.
It's okay. 08.
Yeah, 08.
Yeah, dude. And I remember when I was like 27, like we were like working to like build something. I was like trying to always write with him and like write scripts and sketches, and like he just like couldn't keep up with me. And I remember I would take it as apathy. I'd be like, you don't like, bro, like you have to like, we have to do this after work because this is our passion, right? Like,
gotta make it happen.
Gotta make it happen. He just like, and I just took it as passion, and I kind of like, you know, weirdly like resented him for it like a little bit, like just like, God damn, like, do you not want this?
Do you not care?
But now that I'm 34, I realize it's not that he didn't care. He just did not have the battery. He didn't have the strength to show up all the fucking time. I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine starting comedy now.
No, I started my last 2 years in college, so around the same age as you did. And just the thought of also like being younger and you're so green, you have that time for your youth and the greenness to go side and side.
Yes. Yeah. It's so weird because I think every single person has the opportunity to devote their 20s to something. All the energy could have really gone into like, I don't know, iBanking or something, you know? Like we could have invented an app. How much time and energy and like how committed I was to comedy and like fucking open mics and stuff, like, and it's just so weird to think that I just use it to do stand-up comedy.
Hey, I think that's a good thing.
It's a weird thought. It's just like it's there's so much untapped potential energy there, and you could do anything with it. I miss that energy.
I do miss it, but then I don't miss the greenness of not being grounded. Like now it feels so different, everything. And then you're just like floating around, bouncing off the walls. You're like, what am I even doing?
Yeah. I think, do you watch basketball?
No.
Well, I just kind of got into sports recently because I wanted to make more guy friends. And it's like I got into basketball.
Your yes man moment.
But the way I got into basketball was like, I like podcasts, right? So I started listening to a lot of basketball podcasts first, just to see what they're talking about. And there's a lot of interesting parallels. So basketball, athletes in general, I've been watching the Olympics this week and just thinking about how like, I think Simone Biles is like, yeah, this is probably my last one or something. She's 28 or 9 maybe.
Okay. She's
done it 3 times already, which means it's been 12 years. So in the gymnastic world, she's like a grandma.
Senior, yeah.
Athletes have such a window, you know what I mean? Like comedy, some people don't get famous until they're 40, right?
I know. The 30s is like when 30s to 40s is
basketball or like you have to make it within these 4 to 5 years, right? Or whatever. I think like other than LeBron James, nobody plays for that long, right?
No, and you have to not get injured. It's
not get injured
so
too.
sad to hear when people's careers just get ended.
Right. But I bring it up because a lot of older basketball, and when I say older, I'm talking about basketball players in their 30s, like early, like Steph Curry. We've heard that name forever. As like he's like a great shooter or whatever. He's like 36. So that's pretty old in basketball. LeBron's 39. I think Draymond Green's like also around that same age. And they always talk about how like you can't, so they can't, it's so weird to hear athletes say it like this, but they can't move like the 22-year-olds. They can't move like Anthony Edwards and like Tyrese Halliburton, like all these like newer players who are like 24, 5. And so they have to like play smarter. And I feel like that's what we do with life when you get older is like, I can't stay up until 4 a.m. But, you know, between 6 to 7, like I'll just, you know what I mean? Like you just have to be more efficient with your life.
It's
you
true.
know? With comedy too. Like I can't hang at a show anymore. I can't hang, you know, at the comedy club to see if I can get on. Because I work in the morning and I'm tired, right? But like I can do other things to like kind of make up for that. I don't know. Basketball, baby.
Sports, I do always think it is such a different. That's a good thing about comedy, also versus like acting. Like if I'm 34 female, I'm done. If I didn't make it, get out of here.
Right.
But as a comedian, there's no age at it.
Yeah, there was that grandma who like went crazy on Don't Tell Comedy, and I read an article about her. And now she's touring or something.
Really? I watched her special. It was funny.
Yeah, she was like, I don't know, 70 years old or something. And
Holy
like now,
shit.
and it said like the phones won't stop ringing. People are like hiring her to do corporate gigs and stuff. Like there's a demand for that because there's 70 years want to laugh, you know?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Smart for corporate gigs
but like
too.
that would never happen at like a like a 6-year-old man playing basketball at the park is not going to get discovered. You want to join the Lakers? That's never going to happen.
No.
But in comedy, it can happen. You know? Yeah, this lady.
What was her name?
Susan Rice.
Susan Rice. Get it, Susan. Good for
Rice.
Susan.
Check out her YouTube set. Yeah.
All right. Well, we pretty much said some wieners, but the first segment I do is the weekly wiener, something or someone that bugs you more than it should have. Gen Z.
Oh God. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Clip it.
Yeah, we gotta clip it. We gotta let them know we're better than them. But do you have something or someone that bugs you more than it should have? Grinds your gears, get you going.
You know, I don't want to come off as like I'm not this kind of guy.
Okay.
I just want the listeners to know that I'm not stingy, but I'm financially aware / responsible.
Okay.
I also have money. Ladies, hit me up. I was buying condoms recently, and it was like $30 or something. It was like $25 for 10 or like 8 or something.
What?
And I was like on my way to a hookup, and then I had to swing by to get some condoms. And they were out of like the 3-pack, and so I bought like the bigger one, and it was like $25 or something, and I was just like,
oh my God.
And with tax, it was like, you know, 27, 28, and I was just like, I almost turned around and went home. I almost went home. I almost didn't want to have sex because I was so turned off. This is ridiculous.
I don't blame you.
You know, omakase at Sugarfish at lunch is like $35. You know what I'm saying? I thought about that. I was like, I could
have a nice sushi.
I could be eating sushi right now. Or I could have sex. I don't know, just like weird. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use, you know. And this, look, right here, it says 26, but that's with 20% off. Okay, we have to find a fucking bargain. It's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And it's kind of like when you don't want to drink and drive versus getting an Uber. Like Ubers used to be affordable, easy to get, and you're like, of course I'm not going to drink and drive. There's Ubers. But then you're like, okay, so Ubers are now $100 to get anywhere.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm going to not drink or have one drink and drive home or
I know.
something.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in the position where you've had to buy condoms. I don't know if that's the way it works really.
I don't think I've ever actually bought condoms.
Just had it ready like when you're younger.
I think you'd get them for free at like Planned Parenthood or school or something. They would always make them accessible for women for free.
In college. Yeah.
And then guys would always have them.
Right. Well, listen.
We buy our birth control.
Sure. And that's probably more expensive. I'm sure there's inflation happening on that end as well. You know what? Now that you said that, I'm going to stop complaining because I'm sure that's more expensive than $25 fucking dollars sometimes.
No. Because most birth control you do get for free because of insurance. So you can still bitch.
Right. I think Trojans should be covered under Anthem insurance.
They should be though.
Why not?
Why not?
I'm saving money for all of us because I'm going to use this condom. I'm not getting people pregnant, and I'm not getting an STD. So give me a coupon. Give me a coupon for this.
Give me a clip.
Dude,
that's a good point. I don't know why there wouldn't be
what is this? But I don't want like the free ones are like thick as hell. That's not gonna work. You're not. You don't want to lose. You know, everybody has their own like particular brand or like, you know, line of condoms that they like that works for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you should have.
It was just too much. It was just such a weird experience because obviously when someone's like, "Oh, do you want to come over and hook up?" You're like so excited. Everybody should be excited. You're like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And then like it was just it was ruined. It was ruined. It's maybe the same feeling as like when you're on a really good date and the check comes and the guy asks you to split the check, right? It's just like, why? Like 25, 26, 27. It's like, I don't know how much it was back in the day. You know, I wasn't really fucking when I was that young. I was fucking more post 30, but like it really just is so expensive.
I'm sure there's been condom inflation.
I'd like to see the stats on that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's a good one. My weekly wiener is, I don't know. It feels like it wasn't like this before because I don't remember this ever happening in the past. It's like a new iPhone update where when I go to hang up with somebody, I click it and that calls the next person whose ever name is there on my phone list.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Wait. So it has the red hang up button.
So I hang up.
Right.
And then when I hang up, it goes like right to the list of my past calls.
Yeah.
And then that same click will call, or like say like they'll hang up first, whoever I was on the phone. Then I click, but then it just calls that person whose name is right there.
Oh, interesting. Is this a new update thing?
Yeah, because it's never happened before.
Oh, that's interesting. That must be a bug.
And now I keep calling people, and then iPhones, like if you call for half a second, they get the missed call. There's no wiggle, which there should be like a live TV situation where it's like if you hang up in a second where they don't.
Yeah.
We need some lag here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, I mean, you could just contact Apple support, leave a comment. I'm sure they'll address it in the next live. I mean, I feel like that's a legitimate concern.
I thought this was happening to everybody.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know what you're talking about, but it has not happened to me.
Happened to you
But then I'm wondering, I'm like, am I not hanging up enough? Like, I feel like, yeah, I just... Wait, call me. Oh, wait, somebody's calling me right now.
Okay.
Who's Alex Avila? I have no idea who this is.
Hang up on him.
Okay, I will.
Well, but I guess you have to answer it.
Hold on. Hello?
Hello, how you doing? This is Alex calling about a show at the Royal Gallery.
Oh, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm doing a podcast right now, so I cannot talk, but I would be happy to call you back.
Yeah, no problem. Do that.
Okay.
Sorry for interrupting.
Thanks. It's okay. Bye.
Yours goes to the phone
Yes.
number.
What are you talking about?
Mine doesn't. Mine goes when I hang up. It goes.
I don't know what.
Perfect timing for the phone call.
Oh, I know. I thought it was gonna be like a spam or something.
I know it was someone for you.
Oh my gosh. By the way, can I this is another weird thing. Not that this person's fine. Bleep out his name. I like my friend did a show in Palm Springs and was like, "Oh, you should do it." So I hit him up, and this has only ever happened to me like in LA and maybe 2 or 3 times. But sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, okay, can I do whatever?" And then what you're supposed to do as a producer is be like, "Sure, like here's some dates that are available. Here's the venue, the times, the pay," and then you like kind of negotiate from there over text or email. That's normal to me.
Yeah.
And my stand-up background from New York. I feel like more like 2 or 3 producers in LA have been like, "Do you have time to hop on a call to discuss?" And that's what that was.
Really?
It's so weird. I'm not saying it's like bad, but it's like just what is there to discuss? Like, I'm gonna do stand-up. Tell me the time. What dates do you have free? We can just do it over text.
And also text and email, you need to check your dates and your availability.
Right.
Which, like, do you want me to be at home in front of my calendar and, like,
That's
think
what I'm
about
saying.
it on the
What if I
spot?
was in my car and I answer? I'm like, I don't know. I can't look at my calendar right now.
Yeah.
You know?
That's weird.
Yeah, it's happening multiple times here. Is that like maybe it's an LA thing? I don't really know. People calling to like, but I feel like that's always a bad sign. If someone's calling to confirm details with you about something, to me it's like, oh, is this like a bringer show or something?
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like, do you think I'm like a newer comedian?
That is
you know
strange.
what I mean? Yeah, I don't think that's what this is, but it's a strange. It's just something. It's a red flag if you're ever doing comedy.
Yeah, I haven't had that happen yet, but I would think that's weird.
Yeah.
Or maybe in their eyes, maybe they think they're being like uber professional. Like they're doing it wrong and they don't know.
Yeah, but actually, email or text is better because then you have a written record of your agreement.
Yes.
Or the dates and the details.
That's
right?
smart too. And they can say if you forgot about the show or if you need to go back and look and see.
Yeah.
LA producers be negotiating. They don't want a written record of their dealings.
Ooh.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't really know.
Yeah, that is strange.
But anyways, I just debunked your wiener. So.
You did?
Yeah.
Shit. What's wrong with my I want to know what's wrong with my
you
phone.
You should update your phone. Or maybe like your reflexes are so slow that it's like they hung up and it's clearly something else and then you're just I think it's your fault.
But this has happened to Matt as well. And he's called it.
Who's
like
Matt?
People, my boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it happened to him. So I thought this was a thing too. But now I still feel like it's debunked if it's not for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. If you had your phone, we could try it.
I know. I put it away.
Sorry.
I put it far away.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, it's not. I know it's not relatable to me. So
we're gonna have to just cut this whole part. I'm just kidding. Damn it. It's okay. We'll get on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Maybe someone listening is like it happens to me.
Comment below.
There's nobody listening that thinks this happened to them. They're like, you're weird. Your phone sucks. Move on.
Yeah. Yep.
It's okay. Okay, so then the reason I do this podcast in the next segment is I love how we get to turn miserable or embarrassing moments into jokes.
Okay.
So it's fun to think about like the actual moment, not the joke of like what happened. And then I like to think about a joke that you like a moment you turn into a joke and then a moment that you tried or didn't work or you were too embarrassed to talk about. Or like sometimes when it's something so shitty, it's hard to navigate into a joke.
Yeah, for sure.
But
so you want 2 examples?
Yeah, you can do one that you did or one that you didn't or whatever the hell you feel like talking about. If you don't have one of each, you can say whatever stories you like.
Okay, the embarrassing moment that I turned into a joke. This isn't like a super funny joke, and I only do it if I'm doing a long hour and if it's for people who are excited to see me. It doesn't really work if I'm in like a show where I need to like prove myself and like we need to bring it. I would consider it like a B joke that I only bring out for like when I do an hour. But when I was like younger, I like hooked up with somebody and then we got naked and then she looked at my penis and I think she was trying to be sexy, but she said something like, "Oh my god, like you have the 3rd biggest penis I've ever seen."
No way.
I swear to God. And then I was just like, because I'm always in my head, I'm like, how many have you seen?
Yeah, a lot of questions.
She said 5.
Wait, you actually asked that and she actually answered it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just thought it was funny. There was like just a roundabout way to say that I have an average penis. Very in the middle, 50th percentile penis.
Oh my God.
It's not even that. It's a median. Actually, it's a median.
Oh, the fact that she said that's crazy.
Yeah, but we were young, you know. I think she was like trying to like dirty talk. And
Yeah.
stuff. But I was also like a dumbass. I'm like, I was like, wait a second. Yeah, so that's like a joke that I do sometimes.
Well, at least you didn't say 3. You only say 3 penises.
Hey, that's bronze. You know, that's still pretty
Yeah.
good. That's
I
pretty
take
good.
the medal.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know. Yeah, that was. Yeah, it was not funny in the moment, but funny in retrospect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one. I would say I never really tried to make this into a joke because I also don't know how to like necessarily make it hilarious. But I know that one day I will put this either in like a script or like a joke or it'll come out. But I don't really know how to insert it yet. But like I got fired from my first writing job on Asian American Heritage Month.
What?
Yeah. And I was just like so crazy because like I think like that whole year there were like a lot of like racial things happening. This isn't like 2022. A lot of racial things happening and like they always called on like the POC writers to like make a statement about like, oh, there's a shooting today in like Georgia and like Asian women got shot up, or like, you know, if there's like something that had to do anything with race, like they would always do like a you know, the host has like a moment to be serious before the comedy show started. This was like a late night show, so the host would come on and say something serious, and like they would always ask the POC writers to write stuff like that, and it's like they're always like, it's just virtue signaling, right? It's like they're always like, oh, we're on the right side of history, like we love people of color, and then like you fire me on Asian American Heritage Month.
That's so messed up.
It's so fun. I remember they scheduled the meeting and I knew they were gonna not renew my contract, and I thought about wearing a T-shirt that said "Stop Asian Hate" or something on it. The saddest / funniest part is when I came back from the meeting, I told one of my co-workers, like another writer, I was like, damn, like I can't believe they fired me on Asian American Heritage Month. And then she goes, oh, Fumi, if only they knew what that was. Because they totally don't. Of course they don't know what that is, you know? Like,
that's a nice answer.
They're like rich white people. They don't know what Asian American Heritage Month is, you know? Like, but it was like,
Fumi.
yeah. But that was like such a real moment. I've tried to like tell a story a little bit. It's not like, I think people get really sad, you know? But it's, in retrospect, it was like very funny to me. Just because I'm a comic, it's like
totally.
It's such like it's not a curb moment, but it's like in that vein. You know,
I was gonna
like,
say a very
yeah,
good
it's kind of like
moment.
why is this happening to me at this time? You know what I mean? Like it has nothing to do with like, hey, maybe I wasn't a good fit. That's okay, but it's like you couldn't wait like one more week until it's June. You know, you couldn't find me on Pride Month. I'm a straight guy. That makes sense. You know. But I was like, God damn, fucking like, at least play the part if you want to be like a woke show, you know? I don't know.
Shows their
like,
true colors.
yeah. That was like that's like an embarrassing moment that I haven't been able to turn into a joke. But one day I will.
Yeah.
I think.
I definitely could see that on a TV show.
Yeah. But it's like a very real moment for me, you know?
Yeah, that's a big thing that happens too. Oh boy. Yeah, it's so hard sometimes to get one like when you see it like as a TV show versus like how to then turn that into a thing. I feel like when those moments you kind of have to just like have another joke, then you're like, oh, this will work with this finally.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
That
happens
ties together.
I feel like I don't want to say half, but like maybe I would say 50% of writing is just like living your life and then you're like, oh, that's where this goes.
Yeah.
You had this one line that just never worked out of context, but then you stick it into like another joke you wrote, and now it's like the robot is complete, you know? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Just looking for my racist joke robot, I guess.
I guess it'll come.
Yep.
How long did you work on? I know you wrote on Late Night. How long do you still do that now?
No, that show, well, it ended. So
Okay.
that was that. But I got fired before it ended. But I was there for like a year and a half.
Okay.
This was for James Corden's show, by the way.
That's
Context. Yeah, they were cool. I mean, I had a good time there. I don't have
Yeah.
anything bad to say other than that particular moment. I thought it was just like weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It was just weird. It wasn't like bad. It was just weird. Yeah.
Was it hard? I know like some comedians I've talked to, they said like doing late night, it makes it super hard to focus on your own stand-up because it's like full-time thing, or was that
yeah,
able
I mean,
to
going back
juggle?
to the energy thing, it's like I feel like you can only really be creative every day for like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like really creative, not like editing, like thinking of something from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And so like a lot of times I was tired, but I don't know. I think maybe but in another way, I feel like it made me sharper because I was like doing so much writing every day that like I definitely helped with my stand-up for sure. I think
that muscle's going all day.
yeah, but also you got to be careful because when you write for late night, you're doing like monologue jokes and stuff, and the jokes you tell on a daily basis, they're never going to be that funny. I feel like a lot of monologue TV writing is like haha up here, but stand-up is like haha from the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not, to me, it's not even, they're not in the same weight class. Like I always think like TV jokes, it's like boxing. This is not a good example because I know like what is it called, lightweight or featherweight in boxing?
I think it's featherweight.
Featherweight. I know they're very strong and they could whoop my ass, so that's not what I'm saying. But I always think of it like that. It's like featherweight boxing. It's like, oh, they're like 90-pounder jokes, you know. But like stand up, it's like Mike Tyson shit. Stand up jokes have to be like 300 pounds, or like you
Totally.
cannot make people laugh. They have to be really funny.
And not be unexpected.
Yeah, but that's the reason why you can't write an amazing stand-up joke every day. It's impossible because you have to train these jokes, right? To so that they become 300 pounds. So you have to be careful because like sometimes you can write you learn how to write fast in late night, but you like start to try it on stage and you're like, oh, this is bullshit. Like this is shit. This is not funny at all. It's just like funny in that medium, but not in stand up, you know? So like you have to kind of like be careful a little bit. That was my personal experience with it. But overall, I learned so much, and like everything I've done after late night has been like not necessarily like easy, but it feels like way less work because I had to do so much.
I'm sure.
So much pitching, so much writing for late night. So yeah, it's like boot camp kind of.
That makes sense. I read during the quarantine the writing for late night book and I was like, it's definitely, there's like tools that you can use for writing stand up that I could see help. But yeah, it's just a different style.
Because I think sometimes this happens with people with script writing too, like on jokes. People sometimes they treat jokes like a Mad Lib, and that's when it gets dangerous because then you're just doing a puzzle instead of writing a joke. And I think a lot of late night joke writing is, or at least for monologues, it's a puzzle. It's not a joke, it's a puzzle. Where stand up, it has to be an actual joke. So like you have to, it's weird. Like that was the first thing I caught myself doing in late nights. Like, oh wow, like I really thought this would like make me an amazing stand up, but like it actually just made me aware of like what a bad joke is.
And you also have to like be careful you don't build that bad habit of that, like you're saying, like the bad muscle of like if you like try to write that on stage, you're like, ah shit, different, like turning off that muscle, or like when you leave one job to go to another. It's
like it's all about like taste, right? Like I think stand up is all about taste, and so you have to know what's good. It's like you can never be the best chef if you don't have like the sharpest tongue. If you don't know what you're aiming for, you can never cook that meal. You know, that's why like I think people who are bad cooks, I'm convinced they don't have a good tongue. I'm dead serious. Like they just can't. Same in the same way that people who are tone deaf cannot sing. If you don't, just because you don't take singing lessons doesn't mean you can't sing. Like you can still sing the notes because you know what it's supposed to sound like, right? So it's the same thing in comedy where like you need to always be aware of what a good joke sounds like and not get like distracted by other stuff you're doing for other, because there's a lot of comedy out there that doesn't have to be like hilarious. It just has to serve a purpose. And sometimes that can like distract you because like you're getting paid. So you're like, oh, this is like professional comedy. But you're like, oh, hold on a second. Like some of these jokes are funny, but a lot of them are bad and they're corny as hell. And so you have to like, and that's not me shitting on Corden or like, that's just the format of late night.
Yeah,
I would say the same thing about Fallon. It's the same. If you listen to the monologue jokes, it's like a puzzle. It's not very funny.
Yeah.
Some are funny, but it's rare. So like you just have to like, yeah, I don't know. You just have to be like self-aware, I think.
How was doing Fallon? Were you nervous or were you not nervous? That's like, I would love to do Fallon. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, like, I would love to be like, it was the best experience of my life.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It went exactly how I wanted to go.
That's good.
The booker was really nice. Jimmy was nice. We talked for a little bit. It went really well. So I was very happy with my performance. But I feel like we live in this day and age where it's like, okay, like, so what, you know? And so it's like, for me, when I first was asked to do Fallon, I was like, should I just say no to this and then like see if I can do like another Don't Tell special? Because that would get me more views, right? And like that would help me sell tickets. So I'm just thinking like long term, like what is this Fallon Don't Tell? I don't know. Like I feel like people are getting famous from Don't Tell. No one's getting famous from Fallon anymore.
It's true.
Very rare. And the people who get like 1 million views on Fallon are like, you already have a social following, right? Like Matt Rife's interview got like millions of views because it's Matt Rife. He didn't need that, you know? So like that was like, it actually made me sad. Fallon made me sad, actually. Not him himself, but it was more like, made me sad about the industry and just like, oh, like this used to mean something.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what? I'm like literally considering doing a YouTube special over Fallon.
Well, that's just how, that's how it is now. I love like all the old school comedy stuff. Like I would watch, like read all of, like the history of comedy and watch all like, I was obsessed with this show. Have you ever seen, it's like black and white, but then I think the old seasons were colored, but it's called The Comedy Shop.
No, what's that?
It used to be on, it's just like an old late night show called The Comedy Shop. And it was when the Comedy Store existed and it was like no affiliation with the Comedy Store. And it used to be on Amazon Prime.
How old ago was this?
1978 to 1983.
Whoa.
And everyone would do short specials. And I would go to sleep to this every night.
What channel was it on?
It was on Amazon Prime is where I found it. But now that's
like recent. You were watching this recently?
Yeah, I love watching old
Oh,
stand-up.
you made it sound like you were watching it as a kid or something.
No. Like, it's probably like 10 years ago I found it or something.
Wow. And how are those old jokes?
They're great, and they're still so relatable, which always blows my mind when you watch old stand-up of, like, nothing has changed at all, like, in terms of, like, the world.
Right.
Like, the same topics are being talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, back then, if you did the Tonight Show, shit, you got a sitcom.
Oh yeah. I mean, I also did Late Night Before Fallon. I did Colbert in 2021. That one I was like really nervous for because I'd never done it before.
Yeah, the first times I'm sure.
Yeah, but also Steven wasn't even there. So
really?
No, he films like 10 comedians in a row and they edit you in.
Ah.
So it didn't really. It felt more just like a showcase than like Late Night Fallon. It was actually during the taping, so that was cool. But by that time, like, I'd worked at Corden for like almost 2 years, so I was like so used to like late night world and like the studio looked very similar to the one in LA that Corden does, and I was just like, it felt like home to me. So I wasn't like super. I was nervous, but not like insanely nervous. I was like, oh, this feels very familiar to me. Like I've been in these situations, for a long time. So like, yeah, I guess it kind of prepared me for that too. But yeah, I don't know. It was cool. It was cool, but like, yeah, the internet makes me sad.
I know, they're like, now the biggest credit you can get is like doing Joe Rogan's podcast or doing like a big podcast where you can.
Yeah, everything just comes down to like followers and then ticket sales. I just always think of ticket sales. So it's like, who's gonna come? So like, I just always think of it in that way. So it's like, it just puts things into like a different perspective now,
If you could choose back then, would you choose like the social media aspect of you can kind of get seen yourself, or would you choose back in the day style?
Well, I can't do back in the day style because if you look at this, it's all white men. So like, I can't. They would never have me.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even know if they have you. You know
no,
what I mean?
I would
It's
definitely.
like,
they would hate me.
I just think like to do comedy in that age must have been crazy. I mean, shout out to people who did. You know what's actually kind of cool about LA comedy history is like, if you look at the Comedy Store, there's a lot of like Asian comedians on the wall who've performed here like in the 80s and stuff, who were passed and like active in LA, but they just never really got like famous. But that history doesn't really exist in New York. Like I don't really know about any older. Of course, there were comedians in the 80s and 70s and stuff in New York doing shit, but like you just don't really hear. They're all like the fucking Colin Quinns and like that kind of vibe, and not they're not Asian. but in California there's so many Asians and they're multi-generational, so you can't, of course there were Asian comedians because there's so many of Asians here, but like in New York and stuff, like it's not the same. The Asians there, a lot of them are like first generation immigrants, so they're not doing that shit, so it's kind of like like historical wise, it's kind of interesting, like looking at the Comedy Store history and also like LA comedy history.
Yeah, and Mitzi had the belly room for the girls.
That was for the girls?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm only ever booked there. Is Mitzi calling me gay from heaven?
Can you pull up the belly room history? Just like female. Yeah, that's why it's called the belly room.
Why? I thought it meant like the belly of the beast. I was like, this is so alpha, bro.
And then where the little couches, like where the bathrooms are there, they just took them down and they remodeled it. But that's why all the pictures, they were all females.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wait, why did she have a separate room for women?
Because she wanted to give a place for females to be able to perform.
Can they not perform in the main room?
I mean, like you said, it was a different time.
So audience didn't want it.
Yeah, I don't think there wasn't. There was a lane. There was a.
But I'm sure women at that time wanted to see it, right?
Wanted to watch stand up?
Women do stand up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that was the belly room.
Yeah, that was the belly room.
For 40 people. That's fucking crazy. Does this say anything about women?
Is this it?
I'm looking. I don't see anything about women specifically. That's
What?
more the history of just the store.
There's the history of the belly room, female room.
Just type in like female.
Female belly room, Mitzi Shore, room for female comedians. Okay. When the belly room grew and flopped for female comics. No! In 1978, the Comedy Store gave female comedians a room of their own. Here's the story of its complicated legacy.
I will listen to this podcast on my drive home.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There were more female comedians in Los Angeles than ever before, and many of them were performing at the Comedy Store. But that didn't mean they were treated fairly or given much of a chance to perform. The Comedy Store owner, Mitzi Shore, tried to rectify that with an experiment, a room dedicated only to female performers. It was a move that was warmly welcomed by some comedians and treated with skepticism by others. It was a great place to develop unique style that might not have played with mainstream audiences because the audiences rarely showed up. Oh no! Here's the story of the ups and downs of the belly room. I'll definitely be listening to that too.
Wow, I did not know that. That's crazy. That's I'm sure in 78 people are like, that's so progressive, but like, it's like, if you just look at it now, it's like, that's insane.
You can just put us, like you said, on them in the other shows.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like an equivalent. Like, I mean, it's every example I'm thinking of is like bad history shit.
Yeah, same.
You know?
I don't even want to say that.
Yeah, it's like yeah, the maids live there kind of vibes, you know, like the lower class people live here.
It's like when you try to do something to help, but also are you helping?
I mean, kind of reminds me of like the Titanic thing, how each floor was divided by class. You know, it's like, oh, like you're on the bottom floor, so if the boat sinks, you die. Like, if they did that for like a race, they would get canceled, right? This is the Asian room. The pork belly room.
And it flops.
Chocolate Sundays?
Oh, yeah.
Chocolate mochi Mondays.
Oh my God, that's
There was an article about
funny.
how Mitzi Shore tried mochi Mondays in 1978. How everybody hated Asians.
Oh my God. Yeah, so I guess we would both, you and I would have to choose comedy now.
Yeah. That's why I prefer the social media thing, because that would just anything. I think just if you're like, for a long time, if you weren't a certain type of person, you couldn't let the industry decide your career for you. It was never gonna happen, you know. So yeah, it's nice having shit under my own control.
Yeah.
Oof, yeah, that's fascinating. I did not know that.
They also say that room's haunted, but I don't know anything about
Yeah, probably
that.
because you put the fucking women there and they're fucking pissed. Because you're being sexist.
At least one of them was a witch.
Yeah, odds were.
Yeah, you wouldn't let her perform in the main room. All those ghosts just want to perform in the main. Let them fucking perform in the main room.
Oh man.
That's the seance. It's just like you have one like ghost comedy night in the main room. They all get to perform in the main room.
Different times.
God damn.
All right, so we're doing another new segment.
Okay. Just making this up as you go along.
No. We're trying new things, you know. This isn't the first time we've done this in them. So now we're having people send in their miserable moments.
Okay.
And this is the Misery Loves Company segment. So, did you think of segments on your late night show? Did you ever come up with?
Oh yeah.
That's like
So
all
many. That's all we
segments.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Misery Loves Company. This is from Jenna Matthews. I arrived at a restaurant eager for what I hoped to be a fun and relaxed first date. As I walked in, I spotted my date already seated at the table near the back. Everything seemed normal at first. He smiled. We exchanged a quick hello. But things took a turn when he got up to go to the bar. That's when I noticed he had light up shoes.
Wait, light up shoes are like the ones you go like this?
Yeah, like kid shoes. Not just any light up shoes, but the kind you'd expect to see on a child at a carnival. They flashed in all sorts of colors with every step he took.
As they should, as they're programmed to do so.
When he returned with our drinks, the conversation quickly turned to his footwear. For the next hour, he enthusiastically explained how he could change the colors, tempo, and even the pattern of the lights using an app on his phone.
Oh, no, that's okay.
We started as a casual dinner date, turned into a full-on tech demo of his favorite gadget. Needless to say, I didn't really get a chance to talk about much else.
Okay, this is interesting because initially I was like, okay, I know it sounds funny, but maybe they're doing like a fashion thing. Maybe it's like a Gen Z thing where you're bringing back, and like I could see like Tyler the Creator doing something like that. Coachella. I could see it. I'm not saying that I could pull it off, but I'm like, okay, like maybe it's a fashion thing, and that's he's expressing himself. That's cool. But when she mentioned the app, I'm like, oh, this is a new shoe.
Yeah.
This is a new shoe he bought or programmed. So it's not a fashion thing. And that's a no for me, man. That's crazy. Because look at these. Some of that shit looks tight, actually.
I had those in '94, baby.
Really?
Yeah, that's tight. That's tight.
LA Gear.
No way. Yeah, I didn't even know there were ones for adults. I only picture those on like little baby like shoes.
Well, they made them like I had them in like elementary school, right? So like I don't know. I'm sure they made them in like size 8, 9 max. So if you wanted to, you could find it on eBay and order it, right? But again, that would be a fashion thing, which I would respect. If you want to do something like that, that's cool. But
yeah, rock it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what sometimes I read these dating stories from women and I'm like, what is going on out there, man?
It seems like they're made up.
Yeah, like I somebody was talking about they went on a date and the guy showed up barefoot or something, and
What?
I'm like, what's going on right now? Like
That would be
it's not,
than light up shoes.
Yeah, would it?
I think so.
Light up shoes or no shoes?
I would choose light up shoes.
Damn. Yeah, it's just I don't know what men are thinking out there. It's so fascinating.
I don't know. And I think like if this guy's showing off like his shoes, it's like not even like he's not self-aware of anything about them. He's just excited.
I don't know who he thought he was going to impress. I mean, best case scenario, like some third graders might think he's cool or something. But that's I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
Maybe
sure.
he made them using like those Philips Hue light strips or something. Like this guy, like maybe he made it. Oh my God, they charge USB? No. Dude. But you know what? I'm not trying to victim blame.
No.
But if a guy were to wear something like this, there must have been something in his dating profile. I don't know how she met him. I'm assuming through the apps. There must have been something else in his profile that would hint at a weird behavior like this.
Fun guy. Or wouldn't people say in their profile, goofy?
Yeah. He probably thought, yeah, this is 100%. This is very goofy.
Goofy.
This is very, very goofy. He warned you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think like no one wears these shoes and then is like normal in other parts of their life. You know what I mean? No one is like, yeah, I'm voting for Kamala and I work in marketing and I love my family. I go to church and I wear these shoes. No one is that. No one is that. No one. So I almost want to be like, you should have maybe like read the profile more, or like you should have like been more like, you're like radar up, you know?
Yeah. Whew. That's a bad one. There's only so much you can write in the profile that I don't think it could explain. But he probably did make himself if he's trying to show them off, because that's probably the excitement.
Yeah.
If you worked so hard on something.
There's two sad things about this. One, this guy could be like really rich, you know? Like that's the sad thing is like maybe he has a ton of money, because I feel like people who are into this shit are like, I feel like rich guys like don't know fashion.
They don't,
right?
They're so bad at
so
fashion.
like it really depends on her. Like what does she want?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old she is. I don't know what she wants out of dating and relationships. Like maybe she's ready to settle down and maybe she wants a person who's financially stable. So in a way, maybe this is the price you have to pay, you know?
Yeah.
There's that. I think the second saddest thing is like, depending if she's from like LA or New York, I bet this won't be the last time she'll go on a date with somebody with light up shoes. Unfortunately, this will not be her first rodeo. So like, good luck, you know?
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
If this was a movie, this guy would then become, like you said, like rich or like famous from the shoes that she turned him down on.
Yeah.
That would be the movie ending. But
yeah.
for you, sir, I hope that's it. For you, ma'am, hope you find love.
God damn. Brutal.
Well, is there anything you would like to plug?
Well, I'm on tour right now, so please come see me do stand up. If you thought anything I said was funny, I do that for 60 minutes. I'm going to Columbus, Ohio, Seattle, Portland, Oregon, Houston, Phoenix, San Diego, Sacramento. So just if you live in those cities or know people who live there that might enjoy me, just go to fumiabe.com, fumiabe.com. Or just go to my Instagram at the Fumi Abe. That's TheFumiAbe, and get tickets and come see me. I would love to see you and say you're from this podcast, and we'll hang out.
Yeah, go see him. I'll put all the links below. And thank you so much for doing it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for watching. Bye.